The story that's been unfolding around Common and Jennifer Hudson has turned into the kind of Hollywood chaos nobody saw coming. What started as a polished, picture-perfect romance has now become one of the most confusing, tea-filled sagas people cannot stop talking about. And as everyone pieces the rumors together, one thing is becoming clear: this situation is way messier than anyone expected. Let's rewind for a moment. People have always joked that Common acts like he'd rather spend his free time hanging out with John Legend, making music and swapping artistic ideas, than being tied down in a serious relationship with any woman he dates. And honestly, folks aren't wrong for thinking that way. The man has a long history of romantic situations that burn bright, look promising, and then crash just as quickly. Because let's tell the truth, if there's one undeniable thing about Common, it's that his dating resume is full of heavyweight names. He doesn't date low-key. He dates women who are talented, successful, respected, and powerful. We're talking Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Tiffany Haddish, Erykah Badu, Ava DuVernay, Angela Rye, Kim Jones. Even Simone Biles Boseman was rumored at one point. He has been linked to some of the most well-known and influential women in the industry, the creme de la creme of Hollywood and entertainment, but here's where the plot twists. Despite dating all these A-list women, not a single one stayed with him long-term. One by one, every relationship fizzled out. Every single one. And that's why a particular narrative has followed him for years. Common once revealed in an interview that he suffers from what his therapist described as love addiction. Not addiction to commitment or loyalty, no. Addiction to the honeymoon phase. That intoxicating early stage of romance where everything feels new, exciting, and full of butterflies. He explained that he becomes obsessed with the thrill of new love, the spark, the chase, the novelty. But as soon as things settle down and the relationship becomes real, he disconnects emotionally. He checks out. He drifts. And often, he disappears without warning or explanation. He literally said he was addicted to that I'm in love feeling, the high, the fantasy, and when that rush fades, he fades with it. And this isn't a one-time confession. This is the exact cycle he's repeated in relationship after relationship. So now, with Jennifer Hudson in the picture, many people have been side-eyeing the whole situation from the start. They've been saying, sis, did you really think you could break a pattern that's been decades in the making? Because if history teaches anything, it's that Common's love life is unpredictable, unstable, and full of sudden detours. And it looks like Jennifer Hudson might be learning that truth the hard way, but wait, things get even deeper. When Jennifer first got with Common, he made big promises. Huge promises. He told the world therapy had changed him, that he was finally in a place where he wanted to be a husband. He even admitted publicly that if he were ever to get married, Jennifer Hudson would be the woman he'd choose. Of course that got fans excited. Of course it made people believe this might be the one relationship where Common finally settled down. It sounded like growth. It sounded like commitment. But recently, fans started noticing tiny cracks in the picture-perfect image, and then there were Jennifer's cryptic posts on social media, subtle quotes about peace, strength, and protecting her heart. Posts that didn't feel random. And before anyone could blink, new whispers started circulating online. Whispers that Common had already been seen hanging out a little too comfortably with other women, and that he wasn't acting like a man who was fully invested in his relationship. But here's the tea that lit the internet on fire. People began claiming Common told those close to him that he can't stand Jennifer anymore. Like, what? What happened behind the scenes to make him switch up that fast? Well, insiders say this may all connect back to something major. Backhand index pointing right. Jennifer Hudson reportedly rejected his proposal months ago. Apparently, Common was ready to commit, or at least wanted to try, but Jennifer told him marriage wasn't in her plans. And honestly, who could blame her? She's been through a messy public breakup before. She's been engaged for 9 years without ever making it down the aisle. And her past with David Otunga left scars she still carries today. So this time around, she wanted to move slow. She wanted to be cautious. She didn't want to rush into something she wasn't completely sure about. But that hesitation might have created a crack in the relationship that never healed. Some sources say Common took it personally, that being turned down bruised his ego. Others say Jennifer sensed Common wasn't actually as changed as he claimed to be. That maybe she felt something was off. Either way, their relationship has been slipping, and the rumors have been getting uglier as more tea spills. The situation between Jennifer Hudson and Common kept getting stranger and more intense behind the scenes, even before the public caught on. And as more whispers started surfacing online, it became clear that this wasn't just a simple breakup or a relationship slowly losing its spark. Something deeper was going on, something that hinted at betrayal, disappointment, and a whole lot of hidden tension. People close to the couple started saying their energy had been off for months. At first, it was subtle. They showed up to fewer events together. Their interactions felt rehearsed, almost stiff. And fans, who once adored seeing them together, started noticing the shift. That warm, effortless chemistry they used to have wasn't shining the same way anymore. Then came the rumors that Jennifer had grown tired of Common's patterns, the same patterns that had caused chaos in all his past relationships. And honestly, when you look at his history, it's not surprising. Common has always struggled with emotional consistency. He talks a good game, makes big romantic promises, but when things get real or when responsibilities pile up, he slips away into his own world. This time, though, sources say Jennifer didn't let that slide. She supposedly confronted him about the distance, the lack of effort, and the inconsistency she felt creeping into their relationship. She wanted clarity. She wanted honesty. She wanted him to show up like an actual partner, not just someone who enjoyed the idea of being in love. But instead of giving her the reassurance she needed, Common reportedly shut down. He started acting defensive. He started withdrawing. And he started displaying the same avoidant behaviors that have come up in every serious relationship he's ever had. This is where things spiraled. Some say Jennifer became frustrated because she was trying to build something real, something grounded, while Common still wanted the fantasy of the honeymoon staged. He enjoyed the cute dates, the red carpets, the compliments, the pretty pictures. But when it came to the long-term work, the uncomfortable conversations, the emotional vulnerability, the accountability, he froze. On top of that, whispers started circulating that Common had quietly reconnected with a couple of his exes. Not in a dramatic way, not like cheating, but in a just checking in kind of way that raised eyebrows. And if there's one thing Jennifer Hudson isn't, it's naive. People close to her say she immediately sensed something was off. She knew Common had a pattern of revisiting old relationships whenever he felt uncertain or emotional pressure. She knew he liked to escape into familiar comfort instead of facing problems head-on. So, when she noticed him being distant and secretive, she didn't ignore it, she paid attention. Now, here's the part that really shook fans. Insiders claim Common began venting privately that Jennifer was too controlling, too emotional, and too intense for him. They say he told friends he felt suffocated. That he didn't feel like himself around her. That her expectations were too high. But let's be honest, this is the same storyline that played out with nearly every woman he's ever dated. When things get serious, he feels overwhelmed. When a woman wants depth, he pulls back. When the relationship requires real maturity, he panics. So was Jennifer really the problem? Or was this just another chapter in Common's cycle? But then, the plot thickened even more. People close to Jennifer claimed the opposite. They said she wasn't controlling, she was simply defending her boundaries. They said she wasn't emotional, she was exhausted from carrying the relationship alone. And they said she wasn't intense, she was trying to build a stable future with someone who kept drifting in and out like a ghost. There's even talk that Jennifer started feeling unsafe emotionally, that she didn't trust Common's intentions anymore. Not because he cheated, but because he wasn't consistent. And emotional inconsistency can hurt just as much as betrayal. That's reportedly when Jennifer began pulling away too. She stopped trying to fix things. She stopped chasing him for answers. She stopped hoping he would suddenly transform into the committed partner she deserved. Some insiders say she even told her close friends she wouldn't allow her heart to be broken again, not after everything she went through with her ex-fiancé and the trials she faced in her earlier relationships. That's when the coldness began between them. Short conversations. Dry responses. Less affection. More silence. But here's where things took an unexpected turn. Common apparently interpreted Jennifer's distance as disrespect. He thought she was dismissing him. He believed she was pulling away to punish him. And instead of addressing the situation maturely, he reportedly did what he always does. He withdrew further, shut down emotionally, and started spending more time outside the relationship. This is when the rumor surfaced that shocked everyone, the rumor that Common had said he couldn't stand Jennifer anymore. Whether he meant it or whether it was said out of frustration, we don't know. But it opened the floodgates. Suddenly people were whispering about fights, disagreements, cold arguments behind closed doors, and a huge emotional disconnect between the two. And through all of this, Jennifer Hudson stayed silent, publicly at least, but silence doesn't mean peace. Sometimes silence means strategy. And the deeper people looked, the more they realized her silence might be covering something much deeper. The moment Jet and Aiden reached the hospital lobby, everything felt strangely still, as if the air itself was holding its breath. Nurses hurried past, phones rang in the distance, and carts rattled across the tile floors, but for Jet, the world had narrowed down to a single point of fear. The receptionist glanced at them. Name of the patient, she asked. Aiden leaned forward, slightly breathless from running. Kira Summers. The woman typed quickly, then said, she's on the second floor. Trauma care. Follow the blue line. Trauma care. Jet felt his heart drop into his stomach. The world spun for a split second. He didn't say a word. He just marched, toward the stairs with a cold, laser-sharp focus. His face was pale. His hands were shaking, though he tried to hide it. Aiden followed closely, glancing at him every few seconds. Bro, breathe, he murmured. We'll find her. We'll see what's going on. Don't assume the worst. But Jet didn't hear him. Or maybe he did, but the words couldn't reach him through the panic roaring in his chest. When they reached the trauma floor, they saw her, Kira's mother, standing outside a room, talking to a doctor. The mother's face was red, streaked with tears, and her hands were clasped tightly together as if she were trying to physically hold herself together. Jet froze. Aiden whispered, "Go. That's your cue." Jet stepped forward. Kira's mom. What happened? He asked, voice trembling. She turned and saw him. For a moment, her expression softened, and she wiped her face. Oh, Jet, thank God you're here. He swallowed hard. Is she okay? The mother's voice cracked. She collapsed at home. She wouldn't stop shaking. And then she fainted before I could get her to the car. Tears filled her eyes again. She kept asking for you before she passed out. That last sentence hit him like a punch to the chest. A doctor walked over to them. You're here for Kira Summers? Yes, Jet answered instantly. She's stable now, the doctor said, calm but firm. She experienced an acute panic attack, severe enough to cause hyperventilation and loss of consciousness. We've given her fluids, oxygen, and medication to calm her system. Jet let out a shaky breath, relief flooding him so quickly it almost made him dizzy. But she's asking for one person, the doctor continued. She wants to see Jet. Jet blinked. I'm Jet. Then come with me. Aiden lightly squeezed Jet's shoulder. Go, man. She needs you. Jet nodded and followed the doctor to the room. The hallway felt impossibly long, every step echoing loudly. His pulse hammered in his ears. He wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. But he had to see her. He needed to see her. When they stopped at the room, the doctor pushed the door open gently, and there she was. Kira lay on the hospital bed, pale but awake, an oxygen tube resting under her nose. Her eyes were half open, tired, and swollen from crying. Her fingers twitched weakly on the blanket. The instant she saw Jet, her lips parted. Jet, she whispered. Jet's heart completely shattered. He didn't think. He just moved, straight to her side, taking her hand in both of his. Kira. I'm here. I'm right here, he said softly. Her lower lip trembled. I thought you were gone. I thought you left me. Jet shook his head so fast it almost looked frantic. No. Never. I'm not going anywhere. A tear rolled down her cheek. I saw you walking away, and I freaked out. I couldn't breathe. Jet leaned closer, voice quiet but full of emotion. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I wasn't leaving for good, I just needed a minute. His thumb brushed her knuckles gently. I'm here now. You're okay. You're safe. Kira looked at him, eyes glassy and wide. You're really here? I'm not going anywhere, he repeated, voice firm. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not until you tell me yourself to leave. She let out a soft, shaky laugh that instantly turned into a sob. I thought I lost you. You'll never lose me, he whispered. She squeezed his hand, weakly but with everything she had. Stay with me. Please. Jet didn't even blink. I'm not leaving this room. Kira exhaled shakily, finally allowing her body to relax. Her breathing evened out. Her eyes closed halfway, comfort washing over her face. For the first time since the phone call, she looked safe. Jet sat beside her, gently brushing her hair back, whispering softly. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Outside the room, Kira's mother watched silently, tears in her eyes, not of fear this time, but of relief. Aiden joined her a moment later. They'll be okay, he said quietly. She nodded. They will, as long as they have each other. And inside the room, Jet held Kira's hand like it was the most precious thing in the world, because to him, it was.